Hey guys, before I start this review, I just wanted to acknowledge the long absence of reviews on my channel. I thank you guys who have sent me messages of support, who longed for me to return to longer form content, and I've never even considered stopping for good. I've got tons of these things filmed and planned out, so I'll try to get them up in a timely fashion. I've been making paintball stuff for over 12 years now, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. So, on to today's review. Autocockers. They're the steam engine of the paintball world. They're super customizable, and they make a cool sound. We all love them, and if you don't, just find some clickbait videos in the related sidebar and watch that instead. So yeah, there's a lot of parts out there, but let's focus on some bolts today. Alright, so on the table here we have my good old right feed autococker. Classic gun, tuned to what I think is perfection. Gonna see which bolt of the four that I have that are compatible with it right here provides the best use of air when, like it's chronographed with the stock bolt to around 270-ish. And I'm just going to see if these aftermarket bolts, or I guess the stainless one is WGP, but the rest of them are aftermarket, actually increase or decrease performance. We'll find out. After all, paint's just GI 1 star, not expecting the best consistency from shot to shot, just a general sense of if feet per second over the chrono is either gained or lost over the bolt. Usually with really good paint, this thing is pretty darn consistent, so we'll see how it does with just this basic crap. As far as loaders go, I got the View Loader Revolution Chameleon Edition and a JT Axiom mask for stylistic purposes. For starters, why not look at the stock WGP bolt, which should be the gold standard in this test. Made of aluminum with minimal polishing. It features 3 fat O-rings, so it should provide good sealing of the valve and breech, though the inlet hole is quite small and the outlet shaft is quite narrow compared to most aftermarket bolts. On the scale, it comes in at 2.7 ounces, which I'll consider the benchmark for the purposes of this video. Stock WGP bolt right here. Gonna do the test shots. Alright, let's make sure this is in view. Next up is a bolt sold as an upgrade from A&S, a stainless steel Venturi bolt. Or Venturi, or Venturi, I don't know, it sounds like a made-up word. I originally thought this was a WGP bolt, but research proved it was another offering from A&S. This bolt is certainly the most pleasing to the eye of the bunch, with its slender, elegant design. The Venturi bolt face in theory aims to have the blast of air from the valve not impact the paintball at its nearest edge, its weakest point, and instead to displace the air around the ball. The idea is noble, but studies have shown that perhaps it doesn't really offer any advantage, as there's nothing that funnels the air equally to the bolt holes, but whatever, let's see how it does anyways. Alright, so yeah, that's the stainless bolt. To keep the inherent girth of stainless steel manageable, it's slimmed down to the bare minimum without feeling as if it would snap under normal use. Weight-wise, it's the heftiest of the bunch, weighing it at 4.1 ounces. Next up is a custom aluminum bolt, also sold by A&S. The previous owner, who is definitely not Jack Rice of Alien, made some modifications to it. First, they plugged the top holes on the Venturi face of the bolt. Perhaps this was the first incarnation of the sweep bolt. But in all seriousness, this putty substance plugging the holes certainly won't help airflow, so they also decided to crudely widen the small inlet holes by shaving some of it off to create a little shelf that may or may not help get more air behind the ball. Funnily enough, Simon Stevens once told me to do that to his Inception bolt to help raise FPS, so maybe the science checks out on this mod. The previous owner also pulled the A&S quick release pin, so it uses standard bolt pins. On the scale, it came in at 2 ounces, so that's lighter than the stock bolt. Lastly, we have the bolt that definitely won the Marketing Hype Award, the ShockTech Superfly Bolt. Ads for their bolts appeared in all major paintball magazines for years. It's a hybrid design, aluminum core with a Delrin front. It was made at the height of the bolt O-ring embargo of the early 2000s, so it features no O-rings of any kind. but a larger than average inlet hole to compensate, or something. Also features ShockTech's trademark tri-hole cupped bolt face, and it's the lightest bolt of the bunch, weighing in at only 1.8 ounces.
That was double feed. Last ball. 280.
Well, to my surprise, it appears the A&S stainless bolt yielded the best results in this velocity test. And even though it weighed twice as much as the A&S aluminum or ShockTech bolts, I didn't notice a substantial increase in kick, though there might have been a little. Like I said, with this really cheap paint that bored below 679, shot-to-shot consistency was going out the window. But in general, you can tell which bolt utilized the air the best for this autococker. I was kind of surprised the stock bolt fared the poorest of the bunch. Maybe blame that on the small inlet hole, or maybe the O-rings were bad, though they looked fine to the naked eye. Were the results surprising to you? Did I make a goof somewhere? Tell me in excruciating details, I always want to know. Or don't, and let me remain in the dark forever. It's where I live most of the time anyways. See you guys later.